What is going on, everybody? We're here and we are live for
I
episode
know.
25. 25. We're doing this a quarter of a century, Vera. That's basically what it means to me. That's what it kind of feels like. I feel like I've aged 25 years since we started this podcast. But episode 25 of the FML podcast. Vera Dark, how are you doing
That's
today?
me. I'm doing good. Lots to talk about today, that's for sure.
There is some stuff going on. Some stuff that's in the title, some stuff that's not in the title that we might get to. We just got some news, some initial news, maybe about the Super Bowl viewership, which obviously I know this isn't necessarily the group or of people that would super care about what was the viewership for the Super Bowl, but because all the Bad Bunny backlash and that it is in the entertainment and culture space, could be pretty big. But
Yeah.
Disney Star Wars had an embarrassing Super Bowl ad we're going to talk
God, that was
about.
horrendous. I don't know what they were thinking. It's pretty bad when you have to take to social media after the fact and then like damage control and be like, this was our thinking. Not good.
Imagine spending $10 million for a 30-second ad in the Super Bowl in front of 100 million people.
Yeah.
And and you have to come out less than 24 hours later and try to explain the confusion surrounding your ad.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking horrendous.
It's a little rough. It's a little rough, if we're being honest. There's some cringe stuff going on in gaming. We got an Overwatch story. Barry, you look like a big Overwatch person back in the day. Were you a big Overwatch person? Were you a Mercy main?
I probably played it consistently for like half a year, but like in the grand scheme of things, with it being out a decade, I don't really think 6 months is that long of a like span of time.
Who did you main?
Moira, and I did some Mercy, but
You're a
just
healer.
like support, yeah.
You're a healer person, at least from what I know about you.
Yep.
Like from your SWOTOR days, you're a healer in SWOTOR, which
Yep.
gay.
What do you mean gay? You played it too.
Yeah, the fact that you're a healer's gay. That's what I mean.
I'm just down for the classic gender roles.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't want to be relegated to that. Fucking DPS, maybe sometimes tank.
Keep women in the kitchen. Fine with me.
I didn't do enough actual rating to be like really fucking good as a tank. It would have to be like,
God, Nightmare Mode Dread Palace was horrendous.
It would have to be shit that I had played before as DPS and somebody was really walking me through and like telling me like where, hey, remember go here. That's about the only way I could do tanks. So I could like aggro at the right time and shit.
Yeah.
I never got too hardcore into the rating, you know.
Yeah, I was always more into PvP, but obviously you need to do PvE for gear. Well, you did until they changed it all and then they got rid of the ranked system.
Shockingly, Vera, I don't play well with others. I don't usually like to play with people.
Well, luckily, you don't have to play Reloaded with me tomorrow.
That's right. By the way, after all the commitment that I did to a dual Reloaded stream, you guys had me. I promised it. Vera updates me sometime last week, was like, Reloaded's not multiplayer. It's not
because
co-op.
you think with a game that is 4 fucking people, it's up to 4 characters, that they would have at least dual player. They'd have some form of co-op or online. They don't. Shit-ass developers making a shit-ass game. You can't even put a basic system into your experience. So dumb.
Yeah. It's rough.
Yeah.
It's rough. But hey, unfortunately, I will not be able to play the incredible Reloaded with Vera.
You could play it solo.
I could, but that's not what I promised to do.
No, but you can. You could be a good sport.
It's not what I promised to do.
Do you have Game Pass?
I don't know if I have an active Game Pass or not, if I'm being honest with you.
Because it's going on a Game Pass, so.
Oh, well, shit. We don't even have to.
You could probably get one of those $1 for a month deals or whatever, and then you'd be forced to play it then. Then you're obligated again.
Animal Crossing, Ryan? No Animal Crossing for me. That's a girl game.
They did add the Zelda items, which is cool.
Zelda's also a girl.
Okay. And you can get like a Link skin.
Oh,
You don't
pretty sure
have to
Link's
be
trans.
Zelda.
Pretty sure
Queer
Link.
icon, according to the media. So
Uh,
fucking stupid.
Albert Nada Retro for Canadian $20. I'll forgive you for being Canadian. Saw Vera's video on objectification double standards and all that came to a head with Thor Love and Thunder when Thor was both objectified and a victim of sexual assault for comedy relief. The latter of the two bothered me more. Sexually assaulted. Thor. When did
Reminds
that
me
happen?
of Wonder Woman, 1984.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I remember that.
Well, yeah.
People are like,
but-
what's the big deal? Who would say no? It's kind of like, honestly, I think a lot comes from whatever gender the supposed victim is. This is just speaking. It doesn't make it right or anything like that. But we've all seen the reaction for when male teachers get in trouble for like sleeping with a student versus
Right,
when female teachers get in trouble. What's the reaction when female teachers get exposed to like some student? People are like, oh, bro, hell yeah. Like that. It's such
and even
a
the
different
media
reaction.
uses the terminology of just sex versus rape. Like it's two very different stories that are being painted.
Yes, like that. That doesn't make it right in any way, shape, or form. I'm just talking about the general reaction
That's
that
the reaction
public has
from
to things like this. Very different standards for men and women. What is the Thor thing? I don't remember him being sexually assaulted in it. Like obviously, I remember him.
Obviously,
like,
he's objectified. Yeah,
right. I remember him being stripped naked and stuff. But what was the assault? I honestly don't remember everything about Thor: Love and Thunder. Thank God.
Yeah, I remember.
Well, you made a video on it.
I made a video about objectification double standards with Resident Evil.
Oh, and
today.
he's saying that.
It reminded him of Love and Thunder.
Got it. Okay. And then Albert says, had to send that chat early because I won't be here for the live stream. Have a great show, folks. Well, I'm sorry you're not in the chat listening to me completely bungle your entire response. I'm sorry. Sorry, Albert, not a retro. Beep, beep, boo, boo, man. Thank you. Robert, Ryan, do they still have ice cream ships in the Navy? Ice cream ships? I don't know. Couldn't tell you. I could tell you whenever we got ice cream, it was really like everyone was fucking hyped. You get hyped for really crazy shit when it comes to like food on the ship. Like fucking chicken tender day. Good day. Good day. And then of course
with chicken tenders, yeah.
Then of course, if you're like all of a sudden gets randomly announced that you're having steak and lobster or something out of nowhere, you know you're about to get fucked in the ass, probably.
Yeah.
They're about to break some bad news and want you to have a good meal before.
Yeah.
Master Austin with the gifted membership. Thank you very much, Master Austin. Vera, did you watch the Super Bowl with your New England Patriots crushing defeat? Your pathetic team just getting absolutely annihilated.
No, I was playing Neo 3.
There you go.
Better, I guess.
You don't get to claim them and be like, look, on my page. You don't get to claim them and then have no reaction when they lose. It's not fair about that.
I don't care about sports. If they won, cool. If they lose, cool. Oh no, anyway. Better things to worry about.
On Rumble, Pugs, what's up, Pugs, with a gifted subscription. Thank you, Pugs. And then Jose Contreras for $1 says, Ryan, you can get early tickets to Project Hail Mary if you have Amazon Prime 4 days early. Sign up at Amazon to get the notification when tickets go on sale. Hey, I will probably try to do that. It means I have to read the book a little bit quicker, but I want to watch Project Hail Mary.
Yeah, it's a good book. I think that the trailer looks really, really solid so far.
Yeah,
the casting's solid.
The trailer looks a little bit like Goofy, obviously, but everybody. So for the most part, everyone that I've seen that knows the book and has read the book is hyped for it.
Yes,
based on the trailers we've seen, which is exciting. As someone who doesn't know the source material,
it's kind of crazy. We're getting Night of the Seven Kingdoms and then Project Hail Mary kind of back to back, especially where we have like so many shit projects. But yeah, I mean, the book's pretty goofy.
Night of the Seven Kingdoms, by the way. We haven't had an episode, like, we didn't have an episode last night. We had an episode Friday morning at 3 a.m. or whatever the fuck. However, despite it being released a weird time because didn't want to release during the Super Bowl, which I totally understand. Night of the Seven Kingdoms, episode 7 is getting rave reviews.
It deserves it. Next week, that episode's going to be my personal Super Bowl. I'm hyped for that shit.
It's going to be weird because, look, I think that I have a tough time knowing at this point how they're going to break things up in terms of when does episode 5 end and what do they cover in episode 6. I have a lot of questions about that.
I think for me personally, what I believe they're going to do is they are going to end it right before that section. I don't know how to say this without spoiling it. I know this doesn't like, really matter.
There's kind of a shocking
before
moment.
The final decision of who wins and who loses.
Oh, you think that, huh?
Yeah.
So
looking out into the crowd, that is going to be when they cut, and then they're going to cut it, and you're not going to know what's going to happen until, and like who wins and who loses until the next final episode, and then it's going to start with that. I think that's what I'm hoping to do.
I think we've got about still like 10 minutes of showtime or so before the fight starts.
Yeah. Lots of flashbacks.
But look, a 20-minute battle scene is a lot. Especially based on the material they have.
Oh, absolutely.
So that's what I'm saying. I don't know when they're going to do it. However, the first 4 episodes have been really, really good. And I will say this, for it to be like a 9.7 on IMDb or whatever, I think a lot of this is people are hyped for, like, they're starving, and this is something that's very good. Also, I will say that the level of difficulty in adapting this is very, very low, in my opinion.
It is. Yeah, I think we've talked about this, but like all they really had to do was follow everything pretty faithfully and then added a couple of different flares and a couple of little elements here and there. And then you've got the basis for your show, which I think they have done a good job at.
Yeah. And we've seen people fuck up easier shit. Certainly bad decisions that have happened in the Game of Thrones TV universe. No one's going to argue that. But this has been great, and it's a perfect thing to adapt into a little thing like this, and they're doing a great job with the spirit of the characters, the casting, pulling lines directly from the book, and I'm really hyped for the last couple episodes. The Hedge Knight is a lot of people's favorite story from George R.R. Martin. So.
It is. It's really good. I think that it's the most like heartwarming of them all in a way, like because usually it's almost every main character's dying and all this just absolutely abysmal shit is happening to everybody. And, you know, this isn't all sunshine and rainbows, but compared to some of his other work, it definitely is a lot easier to see how people could view it as a positive story.
Well, it is a little bit more hopeful.
Driving factor, yeah.
It is a little bit more hopeful, but it's simple, right? It's just one point of view.
It is.
And, you know, Ira Parker, I think, said in the lead up to this, we like have religiously adhered to Dunk's point of view.
Yeah.
And with the exception of the one scene with Egg, which I do think was good, of him kind of going off and training Thunder and randomly encountering a barefoot Robin Riesling, like I do. They have
reminds you that he is a kid at the end of the day,
right? And just how important what he's doing is, and how seriously he's taking it. And I think that really helps build up their relationship and his care for Dunk and all that shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, episode 4 was a banger with Baylor coming out there at the end.
Their armor looked so sick. Both the sets. Both Makar's and Baylor's armor looks badass.
You know, one thing that I would say is that I do love a lot of the armor. I wish that we had the personal insignias or heraldry,
Like
or whatever you call them,
sigils,
the
yeah.
sigils for
Like
everybody.
Makar's is
Because
4.
Akar's is
Supposed
4
to
red dragons, but
well,
like Arian Bright Flames is like different.
yeah.
His is the normal Targaryen sigil with the 3 heads of the dragon. One's red, one's orange, one's yellow.
Yeah.
I wish you would have seen that.
I think though, and maybe it's just me that's kind of watched all the interviews. Do you remember how I think it was a Jaehaerys that they got rid of before the beginning of Game of Thrones, and like people were pissed because there was skipping between the different kings and like they missed a king? I think what they're doing here is they're forgetting the other 2 brothers, because Spurl, who plays Makar, in every interview has said that he's the second son. All of them, he has said that. So that's clearly what he was told. So I wonder if they are just cutting some of these like loose ends almost. But yeah, he has like religiously said that throughout every interview. So that's clearly what he was told. It's weird. So maybe that's why they didn't do the personal sigils, because then if they had 4, but then you weren't told at all that he has like 2 other brothers, you'd be like, what the fuck? Like, what does this mean?
That is kind of weird. I do think him
Yeah.
being a 4th son is kind of important.
It is, yeah.
But
I think maybe they just are hoping for potential with the character down the line, maybe. I don't know, like to bring the actor back and stuff. Like, it's very weird though. Every single interview he said second son. So
I don't love that.
And no one's corrected him. Like, he was sitting with Ira Parker, and Ira Parker didn't correct him. So
I don't love that.
Yeah, I don't love that either. And that's what they did with Game of Thrones. They skipped, I think, a Jaehaerys II. And so it was like, what do you mean? Like, that's really bizarre. So there might be a little bit of tomfoolery afoot.
Tomfoolery?
Yeah.
Maybe some tomfoolery. Some egg foolery. Some dunk foolery.
Yeah.
Maybe. All right. Snake Oil Sean. I'll enjoy season 2 of A Night at Seven Kingdoms when people can stop comparing it to A Knight's Tale. I mean, I think that when people first saw that trailer, a lot of people compared it to A Knight's Tale. But I mean, like, A Knight's Tale, the movie, had not come out until this. I think George was inspired by Ivanhoe for this, actually, which obviously is a very old story. But there was a movie, there's an Ivanhoe movie from like 1960, maybe, that is what inspired George to do this. And it all takes place at a tournament and shit. And I think he does challenge 7 people at the end and some shit like that. I don't know.
Either way, George tells a good story when he actually fucking writes. God damn it. So stupid.
Anti-Zero Space. I had it happen today. I went to click on your Mandalorian video, and YouTube did one of those side advertisements over your video, and it was for Disney Plus. Trying to get me to click on it. Had a Ryan rant. Love your content.
Oh.
You know, it's funny because that happens fairly often. And I think it's based on, look, all these ads are based off like Google AdSense and stuff like that. And when people are go out there buying ads, blah, 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 I think they just look for people who are like talking about something. So if you're talking about Disney might be likely to put an ad on there, assuming, because they're assuming you're talking about something, you're saying something nice about them. I have that happen a lot.
Similar tags and wording, keywords. So
when I'm bashing Disney and they are running ads on my videos, thank you, Disney. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Happens with me and Ubisoft a lot.
Maybe. Where the fuck did I go? Here we go. I wanted to talk quickly about the Super Bowl. And I know no one really cares about the Super Bowl here. But I'm not really talking about the Super Bowl. I'm talking about the halftime show. Everybody's heard about Bad Bunny. Everybody's heard about this. Everybody's heard about that. Everybody's heard of Everybody's heard about the TPUSA kind of counter All-American halftime show and the fact that it was one of the biggest live streamed events on YouTube in history, all of that stuff. But we don't know yet what the ratings are for the Super Bowl or the halftime show. And honestly, I think it's going to be a big deal. The Super Bowl is the biggest televised American event of the year, every year. Over 100 million people usually tune in. And there's been some bullshit flying around about, hey, it's the biggest performance of all time and Bad Bunny crushed records. We don't have any official viewership numbers yet, and we probably won't until tomorrow. It's pretty normal for a Super Bowl. But because of the Bad Bunny only singing in Spanish, and because of his anti-American statements in the past, his anti-ICE statements, his anti-Trump stuff, all that stuff, it was obviously a huge talking point. We did get some stuff that came out just about 2 hours ago. Samba TV, which is not the same as Nielsen. They measure things differently. But they're coming out with the numbers they had for yesterday's Super Bowl. And it paints an interesting story. So you're going to hear tomorrow, hey, 111 million, 120 million viewers tuned into the Super Bowl, something like that. Samba TV measures households. They have access to certain smart TVs. They extrapolate based on that, the households that watch this shit. 48.6 million U.S. households watch Super Bowl 60, down 13% from 2025.
Whew.
Now, people might look at that and be like, look at that. Look what happened with Bad Bunny. Terrible for the NFL. Honestly, Super Bowl viewership is going to be highly predicated on two things. One, the matchup, right? The matchup, the fan bases, the media attention for those fan bases, all that stuff. And also whether the game's good or not. Those are two things that can play a factor overall in Super Bowl ratings. So down 13%, is that a pretty big number? Yeah, kind of, but a lot of things could be involved in that.
Makes sense.
This is the one that is shocking. The Bad Bunny halftime show, 26.5 million U.S. households watch Bad Bunny's 2026 Super Bowl halftime show, down 39% from Kendrick Lamar's performance in 2025.
That's a massive drop.
That would be ridiculous.
Yeah.
To put it in perspective, viewership wise, last year, 127 million people on average tuned into the Super Bowl. Peaks, valleys, stuff like that. But that's the average, 127 million. 133 million on average tuned into Kendrick Lamar for the halftime show. So viewership went up. That happens quite a bit during the Super Bowl. Viewership does tend to go up because a lot of people are tuning in for the halftime show, stuff like that. Very rarely is there any market decrease because most people aren't turning it off. They're leaving it on. They're going to get chips. They're shitting. They're doing whatever. If these comparisons hold, and they're measured differently, so it's not going to be exact, but just for sake of argument, that would mean that last year 127 million, this year 111-ish million. For the halftime show, it would mean around 80 million people.
Yeah.
That'd be 30 million fucking people, a quarter of the audience, actively changing the channel. And certainly we know millions of people are watching the TPUSA thing, which is a lot considering what it is. Those are insane fucking numbers. If it held steady, I would have been like, that's not great. That means millions of people decided to tune out. A 30 million drop would be nuts.
Yeah.
That would be fucking crazy.
Sucks to fucking suck. I mean, there was plenty of backlash over even these rumors weeks ago, but they still went with it. They made that decision, and I don't think it's one that's paying off for them.
Not right now. Not right now. And look, 30 million people would be shocking to me who actively turned it off. But for political reasons, for the fact the whole thing's in Spanish, the fact that there was an alternative program to watch, I don't know. Maybe it could happen. Now, there are some bullshit numbers floating out there about, oh, Bad Bunny broke the record. We don't know what it is yet because the official viewership numbers have not come out. But if it tracks with those, there's going to be a lot of cope going on.
Absolutely. So I guess we'll see, but It's not a good look from what we are hearing, at least right now.
Not a good look. And if Bad Bunny had played in the for the World Cup, I wouldn't really give a fuck. Like that actually kind of makes sense, right? Spanish music, World Cup, all these different cultures all over around the world, all these Spanish speaking people that love soccer. Okay. This is the United States of America. This is the United States of America's biggest televised event every single year. It is a cultural celebration. That's what the Super Bowl fucking is.
There's certain expectations that people have when tuning in.
Yeah, and estimates are between 65-ish% of Americans watch the Super Bowl every year. Now, when we get the viewership numbers, we're not factoring in kids. We're not doing shit like that, right? So yes, 120 million people is not 65% of the country, but we'll see. We'll see. Maybe the NFL will fucking learn their lesson. That is a big slap across the bow because it affects your advertisers. It affects how much money you're able to charge, how much the broadcast partners are able to charge for ads over the next several years. It affects a lot. Right. And if that number is real, that's fucking bad.
Yep.
That's bad.
It is what it is, and it's not good.
Somebody, did you see Rohan Weber casting Lucy Boynton?
As far as I'm aware, it's still a rumor. It hasn't been confirmed yet. I think that she's very pretty, but she doesn't fit with the character in terms of age. I don't know. I mean, she's pretty, so maybe they can age her down a little bit. But the actress is I think 33, and she's supposed to be pretty similar in age to Dunk, which yes, in the books is 16 or 17 to 18 maximum, but I mean, in the show, he has aged up a bit. I don't know, though. She is quite a few years older. She's pretty, though. If it ends up being confirmed.
I haven't heard anything about that.
Yeah.
There's also the rumor about fucking Ellen Page playing Hermes, like a trans person playing Hermes, which is just a rumor. I don't even think that one's to be taken as seriously as the...
Ellen Elliott Page is cast in the movie.
But
yeah, so we don't know what character, but I mean, one would kind of deduce it's
gonna be a man.
There's only so many characters it, he, she, they could play.
I fully anticipate, and I'm hoping I will forgive all the race swaps. I'll forgive all that shit if Ellen Elliott Page is cast as Polyphemus. That's what I want to see. I want to see the Freak be cast as the Cyclops. You don't think that would be good?
I think it would be great, but that they're not going to fucking do that. For a fact that's not going to happen. That would redeem it a little bit, in my opinion.
That would save it. That would save it. Wow, nobody watched football. We're talking about 111 million people potentially tuning in.
Nobody, yeah.
It is the biggest broadcast event of the year. I don't think that would be nobody. I don't think that would be nobody.
It's a lot of people still.
Let's see. Where the fuck did I leave off? Mad Cabal. Watch them overcorrect and have the U.S. Army marching band for next year's halftime show.
I feel like there's nothing bad that they could do almost to overcorrect, though. What are you going to do? Make an American-centric show or program more American?
Look, I said this, and people will hate me for saying it. Regardless of people's politics, a bunch of people who fucking hate Republicans or hate Trump or have performed before. But it's about their music, it's about their performance, it's about if they put on an entertaining show and shit like that, if people can fucking understand it. If they had Taylor Swift as the halftime show, it would do fucking insane numbers and most people, some people be like, oh, fuck Taylor Swift, blah, blah, blah. Just like we have for every halftime show, people out there that hate certain artists, but she's also massively popular in America, and it would do incredibly well. And I doubt she would be giving political fucking virtue signals on stage. Maybe she would, whatever. But it's weird because people were talking a lot about the TPUSA thing, and I think it's a monumental fucking stream that they did.
It is.
There's some retarded people out there being like, well, they bought it. It's not. You're fucking retarded. Absolutely retarded.
Yeah.
They're
they
coping.
Can't fathom that so many people would be interested in any sort of alternative.
They're coping, and some of it is made by people who are truly completely will lie and say anything for their intended audience at the time. But the thing is, people are like, they could do it bigger next year. They could, but the reason it was successful, in my opinion, was because they had something to counter program.
Yes.
If the Super Bowl announces, say, a country music event, say like Morgan Wallen and a couple other big country stars, there's not going to be the demand for the All-American halftime show if you're already fucking getting it on the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
So
we'll have to see what happens. The NFL could double down. You never fucking know. If these numbers are true about the drop, then they definitely won't.
Eleni for $5. I'm sure the official numbers will be padded. Less than 100 million viewers for the Super Bowl is crazy work. For the halftime show, it absolutely is. And yeah, I don't know. Again, you can't compare like 1-to-1 those numbers. You have to compare like Samba to Samba and Nielsen to Nielsen. But if it tracks anywhere close, it is not good. You know, Vera loves some Taylor Swift.
Never been into Taylor Swift's music.
You're not a Swiftie, huh?
No, that's pretty cringe.
You're the target audience, a white woman.
It's true. Well, I was also the target audience of, I don't know, the fucking Acolyte, too.
Yeah.
A female previous Star Wars enjoyer, so just because you are the target audience doesn't mean you're going to watch it or want to watch it.
That is fair. that is fair. Let me make sure we're caught up here. But you brought up Star Wars, which is a good transition.
Yep.
Which is a good transition. Let me transition like Ellen Page. Do you care at all? Like, you obviously didn't even watch the Super Bowl, but you remember back in the day when people really loved all the commercials and things like that? They were in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I used to watch like years back that people would have like the super cuts on YouTube of just like all the commercials, and then it would have like the timestamps, and like I'd flip through it to see what it is. But now I just watch like the most important ones that pop up on like my X feed, for example. Otherwise, I just could care less.
Well, it's obviously very expensive to run a commercial at the Super Bowl or a trailer or whatever, for obvious reasons. 100 million people tuning into an event is a lot of people to get your product, to get your trailer in front of. And even though Marvel skipped out on it this year, we heard, a week ago that we were going to get a Mandalorian and Grogu trailer. And people were like, well, okay. The Disney Star Wars people who are still out there holding out hope were like, you know what? Let's see what it looks like. Let's see what it does. Didn't go very well for them. The Mandalorian and Grogu's highly anticipated Super Bowl teaser divides fans more than ever.
And that's bad. They need the 5 fans that they can fucking get to go watch this movie.
Look at this Polygon title.
It's bad when even Polygon is saying, yeah, this is a big disappointment. Like, they will shill for all of these awful teasers and trailers and products if they think that it could either get them some clicks, make them a quick buck, or land them on the good side of, in this case, Disney. But even they're saying it wasn't a good idea. And
why wouldn't they be saying that? This thing is almost ratioed. It has 16,000 likes to 12,000 dislikes on YouTube. And when people were when they were announcing there was going to be a Mandalorian and Grogu new footage and a trailer, people expected something that would be reflective of the fucking movie. Instead, this is what they got.
Sometimes we choose our path. Other times, the path chooses us. Through it all, we keep pushing forward, driven by a deeper purpose, guided by an unseen force. The journey never gets any easier. The bond just gets harder to break. This is the way.
Only in theaters at 9.
It's so random and so bizarre. Like, I think a more lighthearted little teaser like this could work if they were in the good graces of their customers and in the good graces of their fan base. Like, let's say they, I don't know, were actually making half decent content right now, or there was some kind of large amount of interest in this. Okay, maybe like it wouldn't have been taken so poorly, but it just constantly feels like they are out of alignment with what their core audience actually wants from their movies, TV shows, and even getting down to trailers.
Look, this would have been a super clever, cute little ad if, like, Mandalorian and Grogu had a partnership with fucking Budweiser or a sponsorship, and they were doing a parody of their
Instead of
fucking
the
old things with the Clydesdales,
Yeah.
like, and maybe they released around Christmas time. Like, okay, I could actually get it if it was a thing like that. You spent $10 million on this TV spot.
Horrendous.
To convince people to come and watch your movie that comes out in 3 months. And this is what you give people.
Yeah. This should have been the teaser that they put on social media being like, watch the Super Bowl and see the full new trailer in just a couple of days. Like, this is the type of like pre-promotion work you do on your social like handles.
And you know it's bad when you spend $10 million and in less than 24 hours, you have to publicly come out and make statements and give interviews to clear up the confusion surrounding your $10 million advertisement. Lucasfilm attempts to clear up confusion over the Mandalorian and Grogu Super Bowl commercial. Our creative and marketing team landed on a unique concept that gives a nod to classic big game spots of years past. It captured the warmth, humor, and emotional connection between these two beloved characters and was the perfect next step for our campaign as we lead up to their big screen debut this summer. They wanted it to feel instantly iconic, cinematic, and quintessentially Star Wars. It was directed by Jon Favreau and reportedly cost over $7 million to be featured in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's fucking pathetic.
So for perspective, the ad sell range between 7 and 10 million. That's why they say over $7 million.
Right.
This is embarrassing, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
it is. Like, how many times can you constantly like fuck up and really just waste money? Because they wasted a hell of a lot of money on this ad slot, and I get why, right? Super Bowl is an extremely large event. I mean, if you compare last year's numbers for the Super Bowl versus even the Game Awards, you know, the Game Awards is worldwide. It streams on many different platforms, many different languages, but last year's Super Bowl was $151 and the Game Awards was $171, but even they only charge, $1 million for a 3-minute ad slot. That's a pretty big difference. So you'd think that Disney would be very careful with, you know, what they're showing at the Super Bowl, how much it is, like how much they're spending on all this like marketing material. But yeah.
This is Dave Filoni.
Oh, yeah, because he's going to be completely different, guys. Yeah, so we should have much more faith in him to do a better job. Surely he's not going to continue to do stuff like this. So bad.
Yeah, this is Dave Filoni's first big step. Dave's first big step.
Well, clearly it was set up.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure it was set up
ways back.
like a month ago or so. But I mean, look,
Yeah.
this trailer could have been filmed in a fucking day in the volume.
It wouldn't even shock me. Oh,
Like this
Yep,
thing
I
looks
could
like
see that.
absolute shit.
Yeah.
Like especially when they show the view from the back. It is rough. And it was only the second gayest thing Pedro Pascal did that day. The other was dancing to Bad Bunny.
that is, yeah, definitely the gayest.
But I don't know, bro. I love the fact that they are out. And there's some people that are like, I don't understand why it's getting so much hate. Why do you have to try to criticize everything? Why do you have to do that? Bro.
Maybe because we've been insulted by these companies time and time and time again.
It's getting almost ratioed on the Star Wars official YouTube channel. And it's doing that partnership in conjunction thing with Disney, which has 6 million subscribers as well. This is not just a
Right.
handful of people saying it sucks. People are like, what the fuck is this? And you don't see any other fucking trailers that were released, promotion for any film, that's having to come out and be like and explain their fucking trailer.
Yeah, that right there just proves how out of sync they were with their audience because they felt the need to talk about it on social media after the fact. It's one thing for maybe a trailer to rack up a couple thousand dislikes, but it's getting way more likes, quadruple the amount of likes, but that's not the case here. It's going to be negatively ratioed, and it is facing tons of backlash online where you can't even count, the amount of dislikes or negative comments that are being made and people just voicing how bad they thought that it was.
Yeah. Fuck Disney Star Wars.
Pretty rough.
Fuck Disney Star Wars. Forever and always. And man, I'm so happy Dave Filoni's finally in charge. Maybe he'll actually
he's
get
gonna
some...
turn things around. He's gonna change the game. He's actually gonna start implementing our requests. He's gonna be the savior. And
like the Darth Maul show that's like coming out that no one's gonna fucking watch, the animated shit that no one's gonna watch. There's people who think Sam Witwer is because Sam Witwer learned from Dave Filoni, so that means Sam Witwer should have like some sort of creative position at Lucasfilm. Go take a look at Sam Witwer. One, you're fucking retarded, but two, like look at Sam Witwer's Twitter right now, his social media right now. When they released the Darth Maul trailer, he had like 2 posts about Darth Maul. The next 100 or 150 posts are all about ICE. They're all about Trump. They're all about fuck Republicans. Like,
right. He's not some like good guy that, has had some pretty base opinions or just doesn't want to talk about politics at all. Or he's not some absolutely amazing guy that we should all look up to. No, that's not the case. He's been speaking out on social media for a very long time. And who the fuck would want a guy that is learning from Dave Filoni to be a part of the company? Like, why would you ever? That's like saying, oh, this chick learned on their Kathleen Kennedy. Let's give her a go. No.
It's like Freddie Prinze Jr. Do you remember?
Gosh.
Do you remember that rant he had that went viral like 5 years ago or something when he was shitting all over Star Wars fans?
Yes.
Like, one of the things he said there, Dave learned from George and I learned from Dave. And he like goes on this whole fucking rant where he's like, do you know why fucking, Yoda and Obi-Wan were left? Because 2 + 2, it's equal. The balance in the Force, bro. Like, this is easy shit. And it's like, he's ignoring that his fucking character is also a Jedi that survived fucking Order 66. He's like, not even considering his fucking character in his math equation. And that's not what balance is. But he learned from Dave.
He did. So surely we should trust him, guys. He's relatable. He's reliable. He's the man.
Put Freddie Prinze Jr. in charge. Do it. Him and his girl, Sarah Michelle Gellar. Bro.
2 peas in a pod.
John Gets Gaming. Well, I missed the sports show, so I'll say it here. May might have had the worst Super Bowl run performance as a quarterback ever. Had like 50 yards before garbage time and more massive turnovers after 3 straight garbage performances. So, John, according to like advanced analytics in terms of expected points added, so EPA, he statistically had the worst playoff performance of any quarterback in history. Minimum 3 games played. So it's pretty bad. Jesus Davila gives some membership. Thank you, Jesus. Shout out. Elaney for 5. I'm waiting for someone to add the Budweiser cans to that commercial with AI. Half the people are saying that it just looks like AI to begin with. I think that's just what fucking looks like in the volume.
Yeah.
Jon Favreau directed it, guys.
Oh, yeah. He directed it so well.
Thanks, John. Anti-zero space for 5. It's just fake green screen. You can see the poor CGI. Yeah, I totally think it was just in the volume, which can sometimes look really shitty. It makes me wonder what the movie's going to look like.
Yeah.
Like, if they filmed it the same way that they filmed the TV show,
right.
You put that on the big screen.
It's going to be, it's going to be rough.
Maybe it'll be cheap from them. Or like maybe it'll be cheaper
have
for
the
them.
Mando seasons cost?
Estimates are around 100 million.
Okay.
And considering what we've seen,
big budget, yeah.
Yeah, considering all the other crazy numbers we have for streamers and stuff like that, like look at the Marvel TV shows that cost, She-Hulk costing 225 million, Secret Invasion costing 250 million. The idea that they're able to do those things for 100 million is relatively cheap comparatively.
Yeah.
And the volume is a big reason for that. It does cheapen things up, but it also kind of looks like it's filmed in the volume sometimes, which can be bad. But say they film a lot of it in there and they keep costs. Say it's $150 million budget for this. I think it'll be more, but just say that'd be big for them because it would mean they'd only need to break, 450 million to break even.
Right. I just don't see the hype behind Mando and Grogu anymore. Like, who cares?
Yeah, these two beloved characters, are they?
The
last time we saw them, it was a joke. It was completely and totally rejected in season 3.
Yeah, and I get that it's very like easy normie bait or like family bait for, oh, hey, let's go out to the movies this weekend. But is that going to be enough? Maybe it will be, depending on their costs, depending on the budget. But, they want to make a pretty penny off of this, that's for sure.
At this point, I'm guessing it makes somewhere between 400 and 500 million.
Yeah, I could see 500. I don't think I could see any more than 500 million now.
I mean, it's a Star Wars movie, right? It's the first Star Wars movie we had in 7 years.
Yeah.
They should be expecting 800 million plus.
Oh yeah, they should be, but will it actually get there? I don't know. I just don't think Mando and Grogu are good enough to carry them to that point.
I remember when everybody thought that was just going to be fucking huge. Oh my gosh, Star Wars is back. The most mid fucking season in history in season 1. Season 2 of Mando sucked, just for the record. And
yeah, there was like 2 good moments and that was it. But 2 good moments doesn't make an entire season good enough. Like it needs to be consistently good hit after good hit with the occasional downturn. But I thought season 1 was good. I wouldn't go any farther in saying it was great or it was amazing or it was like a rejuvenation of Star Wars. Not by any means. And just because you have one good season of something doesn't mean you can continue that forward, which we saw they obviously didn't do.
I thought season 1 was rather mid. I think it's like a 5. I think it's some big problems in it. But there's nuggets of something that could have been potentially good in it, I think, which is like the biggest travesty. If they had waited for the Baby Yoda reveal to the end of the fucking season, could you imagine if we had just had this badass fucking bounty hunter doing badass bounty hunter things throughout the entire thing instead of immediately being turned into this babysitter?
Yes.
And instead of just doing one mission and getting his entire armor set, what if it was one mission an episode, and in those missions he was going to different places in the galaxy, the seedy underbelly, the underworld, all this stuff. And every time he'd come back, you get a new piece of his armor, and you get one of those flashback sequences, and you truly have him going on this journey to like build his Mandalorian heritage and discovering more about him. And then after you're with him all that time and you get to know more about him and you get to fucking understand deeply the character, then at the end of season 1, you reveal Baby Yoda.
Right. Then you introduce this other character and, you know, what's important about them. But
yes. Instead, they fast traveled and they did a speed run and gave you something that I don't think too many people thought they wanted at the time. And yes, a lot of fucking women freaked out. A lot of people like you, Vera. I blame you for the Baby Yoda craze.
I mean, I thought he was cute, I guess, but like I didn't buy any merch. Wait until they turn Baby Yoda into a fucking Labubu. You think the women are going to be buying those these days? No, people are over Baby Yoda, and that's the problem. Is the initial market they tried to sell this to are just kind of over it now.
But then in season 2, people are like, "Oh, it really fell off in season 3." It didn't. It fell off in season 2 because although I think the first season's like relatively average. Season 2, go back and rewatch that without the added benefit and pop of every time a character shows up, you get excited for something, and just watch it. The story's incredibly poor. It's all based on key jangling and nostalgia for these other fucking characters. Mando happens
all
to
the
run
member
into,
berries. We need to cram them in there.
He just happens to run into all the most important people in fucking Star Wars in the galaxy. He runs into Ahsoka. He runs into Luke Skywalker. He runs into Bo-Katan. He runs into fucking who else? Does he? Boba Fett, right? It's just a fucking cameo season.
It is.
And the only difference in writing between season 2 and season 3 is that instead of the cameos being Ahsoka and Luke Skywalker, it's Lizzo and Jack fucking Black.
I felt like season 2 was the Fortnite season where they just wanted to cram as many characters into it as possible to potentially get them into a fucking Fortnite collab. That is the exact way that it felt. And you are 100% correct there. It's cool to see the occasional, piece of nostalgia, like a returning character. But the second you overdo it, it completely kills the tone. And then it's like, nope, I'm done. Just more corporate slop.
Daisy Duke says, don't blame the female instincts to nurture Baby Yoda. Blame the gay writers. I will blame both the gay writers and I'll blame you women.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think the gay writers kind of knew what would be good marketing material, and then there were plenty of women that fell for it. But Star Wars should never be marketed specifically towards females because you just piss everybody off. You push away your core audience base, and then the females like me who don't like it because, ooh, they started marketing it to me. I don't give a fuck about that. I just want to watch the Star Wars that everybody else grew up watching and everybody else fell in love with, and that's what made it good because it wasn't specifically, ooh, marketed towards me. I don't give a fuck. It just ruins it.
I think that I'm going to call it like the soccer mom demo. I feel like the soccer mom demo, they got way more of those people to care about Baby Yoda than they expected. I don't know if those people are actually watching the show.
Christmas shopping must have been easy that year. Holy shit.
Yeah, and I don't know if a ton of those people are actually watching the show itself, if I'm being honest with you. But I do think that in terms of interest in it, in terms of people wanting to buy shit for it, in terms of people talking about it, 100%.
Whenever I think of like Baby Yoda and soccer moms, I instantly think of them walking up to the merchandise shelf and going, like with Zelda, oh my gosh, a Legend of Zelda. I love this little green guy. It drives me fucking insane because it's not, Baby Yoda is just another marketing like title.
Lord Cyclonus says, I'm sorry, Ryan, but season 1 and 2 of Mando is real Star Wars from Disney, the best since the OT. I think that's a wild take. And what I said the time that season 2 of Mandalorian came out, and I think overall I've been proven right, is that season 2 of Mandalorian is like The Force Awakens. And people are saying the exact same thing about Force Awakens when it came out. Oh, this is the best thing we've seen since the OT. This is back
Just
to Star
because
Wars
it's the
again.
best since a certain point doesn't mean that it's good.
And I also don't agree that it's the best since the OT. But if that's your opinion, that's fine. It's the same shit we heard about that. And then over time, when people realized that Force Awakens was just basically fucking jangling keys and these characters thrown in there, but it was really hollow, it was really shallow, it was basically in name only, and it didn't actually have a lot of fucking meat to it. The perception and respect for Force Awakens went down significantly over the years. I think it's the same thing with Mandalorian season 2. Because if you go back and watch it, there is very limited. There's some, but I think it's very limited character work, I guess, with the Mandalorian himself. He does make the decision to take it off, says goodbye to Baby Yoda, all that stuff. But it's that season 2 of Mandalorian is not about him. It is about everybody else. It's about Bo-Katan. It's about Ahsoka. It's about Boba Fett. It's about the hype of Luke Skywalker out of fucking nowhere returning. Dead face, dead-eyed,
They weren't focused on the main character, and so it threw it off.
And because you can't talk about that, in the same way you can't talk about Force Awakens without talking about Last Jedi. You can't talk about the huge finale, goodbye, Luke Skywalker comes, takes Baby Yoda away, him saying goodbye. You can't talk about that without mentioning that they immediately, within 8 months or something, undercut that with the return of Baby Yoda, the reuniting of Baby Yoda and Mando. It meant absolutely nothing. All that has to be taken into account and taken into perspective. And I'm so I get a lot of people were very emotional about the return of Luke Skywalker. I don't know why you were. That was a Luke Skywalker in name only, who didn't act like Luke Skywalker, who just came and kidnapped a child, hacked through some robots, and fucking went on his merry way. And no, you think Luke fucking Skywalker shows up to this thing, and he's not like, are you okay? Like, what happened here? Why are there fucking Imperial warlords? Why are there fucking stormtroopers in this time, day and age when the Empire's supposed to be gone? Like, what is going on? How did you guys?
He's just like,
none of that.
Not my problem.
He's like, it's like he's on a fucking mission. Jeffrey Epstein sent him there to get some underage kids, right? And he just fucking walks in. He's like, I'm here for the child. Fuck, that's not Luke Skywalker, man.
No, it's not.
And so that I get that people got emotional over it, and it means their fucking nostalgia bait jangling. He's worked on some people, but it shouldn't have. In retrospect, watch that fucking season and tell me it's any better than season 3. And I truly don't think it is.
Yeah, no, it wasn't.
But I don't know. And then again, by the way, 8 months later, while Luke is asking Ahsoka fucking Tano for advice, Grogu goes back with Mandalorian, and that scene means fucking nothing.
Yeah, it goes absolutely nowhere. It was pointless to add in.
Enrico. Mando and Grogu would have gotten a lot more attention if they did something where he talked and sounded like Baby Herman from Roger Rabbit. Ironically enough, there is a show that is airing right now with kind of a big warrior and a very young ward of his, effectively. It's being received very well, and the character development and the character dynamic between the two of them is really fucking good. It's called A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. The characters are Dunk and Egg. You know what might have helped Mandalorian and Grogu be respected the way that Dunk and Egg are respected as a piece of media? If they talked, if they spoke, if Grogu could speak, if Mando ever fucking spoke, but he doesn't say anything. He's basically silent. Neither of those fucking characters talk. Are we surprised that there's not great storytelling? It's so fucking dumb.
One head nods all the Mandalorian needs to know exactly what Grogu's thinking of.
God. Ugh. Tungsten slugs. Agree with your takes, but it breaks my heart. I still love it. Even went and loved the Star Cruiser. Showing my girls 1 through 6 and Rogue gave me all the feels. You went to the Star Cruiser, huh? Whew. Tungsten slugs. That's pricey.
Lots of money lost there.
That's pricey. But I'm glad you enjoyed it though, for
Yeah.
real. I thought it looked like
Ultimately,
shit.
that's what matters, is if people enjoy their time with their purchase, whether it's going somewhere, a video game, or a movie. Who gives a fuck about our opinions? If you like it, that's great.
Yeah, and I thought it looked like shit, but I get it. Like if you like it, you like it. You know? But I'm sorry. Anti-Zero Space survived 200 to 300 million on Mando. You think it'll do less than Solo, a Star Wars story, huh?
Yeah. Be a lot of money lost, unless he means budget,
I think he means box office.
box office. Because I took that as budget.
Or-
Either
well, it could be
way,
budget. Could
either
be.
way, those numbers are not good, regardless of which it is. If they spend $300 million on developing this shit, they're cooked. And if it only makes $300 million, they're also probably cooked. Unless we find out that, ooh, it's only got a $50 million budget. Well, then it's just gonna look like shit and probably make a little bit of money, I guess. But okay, he said box office.
Okay.
I mean, if the budget ends up being like $100 million, then when they only make 200, that'd be hilarious.
If it does less than Solo, bro, we are throwing a party.
Yeah,
I'm throwing a Dave Filoni celebration. Oh,
that would be glorious.
fuck. I would love it. Over on the Rumble side, John Getz. This is about the Drake May's performance in the Super Bowl. Well, I don't know about them fancy numbers. Usually hate advanced stats, but since they agree with me, they're totally legit this time. Anywho, let's hope Grogu gets popped in the head in the first scene. And then John for 5 again says, Dave Filoni only uses legacy characters for pop while doing nothing good with them. And even his original momentary popular character is just a chibi version of a popular legacy character.
Yep.
It feels to me like portions of The Mandalorian were a reworked Boba Fett movie. Like
I could
season
agree
1.
with that, yeah.
Especially if you were going to do something about Boba Fett having to recover his armor type of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I could see that.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
Are you keeping up with Star Trek Starfleet Academy?
Unfortunately.
You loving it? It's made for you.
Oh yeah, great. Me being a woman, Gen Z slay. Love the gay shit. It's so awesome to see this happening all the time. To my favorite series and characters I care about. I just love it so much.
Are you a big Star Trek person?
I do like Star Trek, yeah.
So like you watch Next Generation, Deep Space Nine?
I was never the biggest fan of Star Trek compared to like Star Wars, like the good Star Wars, like
Me too.
like fucking KOTOR, and then the original Star Wars definitely held a fonder place in my heart, but I still liked Star Trek. Well, modern Trek is trash though, as we can all agree.
Like I'm not huge into Star Trek beyond the original series and the original movies and stuff like that. But I could not imagine being a Deep Space Nine fan and then watching this episode, the latest episode, that's all about Cisco and shit.
Yeah.
I'm glad that is not near and dear to my heart. Certainly.
Yeah. It's hard to be a fan of anything these days, though, because if you have a favorite series or franchise that has been around for more than 20 years, you're screwed. It's going to be destroyed in one way or another.
Yeah, just be prepared to be disappointed in life. Garfield's Bizarre Adventure for 5. I still remember all the cope about Jon Favreau being the savior of Star Wars. John handpicked Lizzo and Jack Black because of a TikTok he saw. Yeah, didn't his kids see a TikTok of Jack Black and he was like, I need to get him in Mandalorian?
I haven't heard that, but wouldn't shock me.
Skadoosh. Bro, it's
whenever you need some mildly funny fat guy that can fit into like an E for everyone product, that's who you go for.
I think the one thing you can say about Jack Black is that he has not really changed in 25 years. He's gotten fatter. He's gotten more gray and stuff. And we might be tired of Jack Black's shtick because we're older, but like Minecraft kind of goes to prove that it still works for that like young demographic. Like his shtick works.
Right.
At least I think so.
Yeah. I mean, there's been a couple of times that he's gotten pretty political online, but you know, generally he's still like brand friendly in the eyes of these companies. So.
Yeah, I'm not really like talking about that stuff. I'm talking about just like him in movies.
Straight up him as a creator,
like his
an
fucking
actor.
character that he plays. I think anyway. I still remember the School of Rock days. For Jack Black. Actually, underrated. What was it? The one where he's dating a fat bitch, but he's only seeing people's Shallow Hal.
Yes, Shallow Hal. Yes.
Shallow Hal.
As soon as you said dating a fat bitch, I instantly knew what movie we were talking about. That was Gwyneth Paltrow.
Gwyneth Paltrow played.
What, like a year ago, she came out and apologized for like the third time over that movie. Like, sister, it's time to move the fuck on, and nobody cares anymore. Go back to selling your vagina candles, okay? Your desperate attempts for attention on social media are not working.
She is like a true believer in that shit, though, I think.
She is.
You know what I mean? So I think she's like someone who's actually sorry for that. Like, not because she has an opinion of her own, because culture changed and now she feels guilty. Like, that's... I don't think she's I think she's an insane person, but I don't think she's fake. In the same way, like Mark Ruffalo. I think Mark Ruffalo is actually like, I think he believes everything he says. Saying.
Yeah.
He's not one of the fake people that's just virtue signaling. He's a true believer.
Right.
And I think there's a difference.
The mentally deranged always believe in themselves.
Right. And well, here's the thing. I have more respect for somebody who I think actually believes what they say.
Yeah.
Even if it's fucking insane and nuts, and I think they're a fucking piece. I have more respect for them in some ways than I do for people who are just saying what they think they should say because they're like scared or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ted M. Coog, I'm 52. Have mom to thank for my Star Wars fandom. Huge part of my life for 40 years. What hurts more about being angry about it is no longer caring. I know a lot of people in that spot. I still care.
I still care, but I don't expect any better.
Oh, I don't either.
I don't see a way they could redeem themselves at this point in a way that would feel genuine or that would make me as a fan happy. Like, even going back several years to even something like Knights of the Old Republic. I love KOTOR. It's one of my favorite games ever. But that remake, that shit is dead. If it ever comes out, it's going to have so many problems.
Yeah. Shallow Hal has a positive message at the end of it. Dummy Gwen says that's showbiz. Does it end with him being with her anyway?
Yeah, they like become friends. I don't think they're quite dating anymore from what I remember, but like they basically restart their relationship. She forgives him and all that. And then she probably goes home and never talks to him again.
Corvo the Crow becomes a YouTube member. Thank you, Corvo the Crow. Corvo the Crow.
Oh, they married. Apparently. I didn't even remember that.
I mostly just remember the memes and the jokes parts of it, like them shopping for underwear, and he like it like
and the table when the chair just fucking breaks.
The pool scene where she jumps in is a massive splash. Like that's most of the stuff that I remember from that, if I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah. Bro, imagine if he just friend zones her because she's fat. Anti-Zero Space. Jack Black did a decent job with Paul in the new Anaconda, even though it had all the Hollywood problems.
I didn't watch it.
I didn't watch it either.
I have zero interest.
It came out on Christmas, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it came out at Christmas.
Who was it even for? I guess just families? I don't know. It had a
it was R-rated.
Cast.
It was R-rated.
Was it?
I think so.
Oh, I'm thinking of a different movie. Gotcha. Yeah.
Anaconda.
I did not see Anaconda. Yeah.
Because it actually, I didn't go see it, but I actually, when I heard they're doing an Anaconda movie, I was like, are you fucking kidding me? But then the premise of it is that they want to make like a remake of Anaconda.
Yeah.
But the studio
I
won't give them money,
remember-
so they have to do it themselves. So they go to like the Amazon or whatever to find an Anaconda to film it themselves.
I remember I basically didn't see any marketing for it until like a couple of days before, when all of like the interviews were going around and like it was getting a lot of attention on social media. And then I was just like, yeah, what? Like maybe I'll watch it eventually, but it was nothing that I had any like immediate interest in.
Remember Jack Black in that King Kong movie?
I do, yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm not looking forward to?
What?
The Harry Potter series.
Oof. It's gonna hurt.
There are so many red flags and black flags when it comes to Snape's casting, when it comes to the recent comments from John Lithgow about J.K. Rowling not being involved. And there's still more John Lithgow stuff in the news because this degenerate fucking freak that was a co-star, John Lithgow's non-binary Jimpa co-star, says actors' involvement in Harry Potter series feels vaguely hurtful. Bro, just go fucking off yourself in Minecraft at this point, dude. Like,
Whew.
or girl, or whatever the fuck you are, you freak. If somebody taking a role and pretty clearly saying he doesn't agree with these viewpoints, but is just playing a role, if that feels vaguely hurtful, you have not been through anything in your life. And you probably haven't if you're 20 years old and you've been coddled because you're non-binary, whatever the fuck. John Lithgow's non-binary co-star, 20-year-old actor Odd Mason Hyde, has great memories of working alongside the veteran actor, but was hurt to learn of his involvement. Let's see. Mason.
Who gives a fuck what your co-star on another project is doing? Like, that's really all you can find to be outraged about? These people will do anything and say anything and hold any position to attack people that they think are doing something wrong, or, ooh, because it hurt their feelings. So stupid.
And look, obviously, John Lithgow's a very good relationship with this non-binary person. He's such an incredibly talented actor, but a beautiful human to make work with. That was my experience with John. I never felt invalidated or questioned or doubted in my identity or in my transness by him. I constantly felt he was very loving and very guiding. So you know him.
Yeah.
You know where his positions lie.
Right, you should know his beliefs to the point where if you say you like him otherwise, then why the fuck don't you still like him? There's people every day that work for companies they don't like, that work under people that they don't like. That's just life. I mean, Jesus Christ. It's not that hard to understand.
Yeah,
not everybody in the world has to constantly promote your political opinion or your stance or stand up for you when you're not even part of the conversation.
And I don't know if what this person is, if they're a woman, if they're a man, and what their identity. I don't fucking know. But guess what? J.K. Rowling also doesn't just want you to drop dead and die or anything.
Right.
J.K. Rowling just wants you to not be in female spaces if you're a dude.
Yep.
Like, that's it.
It's pretty simple.
That's it. Nothing crazy. But the more concerning thing is what we got from a star of the Harry Potter series. HBO Harry Potter series claims show will explore more than the books.
Oh, by the way, this person is non-binary. Just so you know. They originally were a woman, but now they're non-binary.
Okay. Degenerate freak. Got it.
Thought I'd clarify because it's so important.
It kind of is. I don't know what this thing is. Like, this is actually someone that I like. They need pronouns. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
If this is the way that you're gonna make your appearance outward in the world, I might need to know what fucking pronouns I'm supposed to use for you, you freak.
Yeah, maybe actually wear the pin finally that says your fucking pronouns. It's gotten that bad.
Just so I can make sure to call you the opposite. But Yes, we do need to know that. Now, look, one of the
This could
things
go so bad, or it could be so good. The problem is the caveat of it's exactly what fans did for. You don't know how it's going to be.
I think I know how it's going to be. Because here's the thing. When this was announced, it was like, hey, if they do this right, we can get everything from the books that we didn't get to see in the movies. There's so much stuff that they can do from the books that gets left out. Now we hear that not only are they doing that, supposedly doing that, but also there's going to be adding a bunch of extra stuff and scenes. Right. And this is the quote from the actor. Locks Pratt, the actor cast as Draco. And if you're a fan who simply wanted the books but complete, this marketing push starts to sound like a warning. Pratt says the HBO series will broaden perspective beyond Harry's shoulder, and more importantly, will add scenes and moments that simply weren't part of Rowling's original framing. As Pratt puts it, you get to see all the teachers in their little rooms. You get to see Draco at home. I won't spoil too much about that, but there are some brilliant scenes at home where you start to get an insight into how he is. You're right. This could go so poorly because
it could, and it most likely is going to go poorly because, yes, there could be small little additions, right, that make fans happy. Maybe they'll also be like little member berries. Maybe it'll just be requests fans have had over the years. But I think in general, the problem is how much damage they could do. The casting is already questionable. Plus, we now know, based on John Lithgow's other statements, that J.K. Rowling basically isn't a part of this. That's the issue. If she was at least, pretty like hands-on with this and she was giving them lots of feedback, I could see this working out maybe a little bit better for them. But besides maybe the 1 in 20 additional scenes that are half decent, the rest could cause so much damage.
Yes, and I agree. If J.K. Rowling was involved, okay, I could see some expansion of stuff, and I think that could be really fucking interesting to see some things. One of my problems, especially with the mention of like the over-the-shoulder view of Harry, the Harry Potter series is very important that you kind of only get Harry's point of view.
Right.
Part of to me, the incredible fantastical nature about it is that you are exploring the wizarding world with Harry Potter, who knows nothing about it. So you also know nothing about it. You don't have all this perspective. You don't have the insights into what these characters are doing and how they grew up or all this stuff. It is just from Harry's perspective. And that's what allows for so many of these mysteries to be unraveled. For instance, we know there's going to be a scene with Dumbledore talking to Nicholas Flamel. When is that happening? If, for instance, this happens before like they go to school and all this stuff, one of the cool things, just take Sorcerer's Stone, is that, the chapter on board the Hogwarts Express when he gets his first fucking card, his first chocolate frog card, and he reads Dumbledore's little back of his chocolate frog thing, and Nicholas Flamel's name dropped in there, and you don't think it means anything at all in any way. And then 200 pages later, you realize Harry figures it out and why he heard that name before and who Nicholas Flamel is and what that thing is, the Sorcerer's fucking Stone. If we start seeing Dumbledore and Nicholas Flamel together planning something to hide something, even if they don't spell out what the Sorcerer's Stone is early on, that affects that mystery, that affects your perception of it, it affects the reveal. And so I'm very hesitant if they start including things, because Dumbledore is such an interesting character, in part because you only have Harry's view of him. Even though yeah, go ahead.
I think that's the problem, is they're going to oversimplify and over-explain and give too many details. And that's what you risk with adding so much additional content into a show like this. It's so easy to overdo it.
And, I think that the part about Draco and seeing Draco's, I don't think I want to see Draco's fucking home life. Several scenes of Draco's home life in the first fucking season.
Right. Is that what people want to see? It's not what I want to see. It's not what you want to see. So who's been asking for this type of content? I haven't seen some large demand on social media being like, yeah, we need this additional context to someone like it. No, we
Now,
don't.
there is a small handful of people that think that Draco needed a better redemption and stuff like that, and then it's not his fault, and he's actually a good guy just because his parents fucked him up. Maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe they're leaning into the fucking fanfic people viewpoints on
Maybe.
some of this shit, you know?
Yeah.
The more that comes out, the more like significantly worried I am about all this shit. Especially when we continue to hear that J.K. Rowling's involvement is not as heavy as we initially were told it was going to be.
Yeah, knowing that along with who is clearly working on this series and who is doing the casting, who's doing the writing, like they, as we saw with Hogwarts Legacy as well, the ways that those writers try to appeal to the outrage mob, it wasn't enough for those people, and they even called for a boycott. And the same thing is most likely going to happen here, even if it's not with, even if they don't ruin every single character, every single storyline, there's going to be ways in which they change this, whether it is with characters, like again, we've talked about with Snape, and it's just boiling down to racism, and it's just that simple, or to it even expanding to these other characters. With Harry Potter, they are injecting so much into it, and there's that potential for them to inject so much into it that it just, like, hearing every single week a piece of bad news after piece of bad news after piece of bad news. Like, how are you supposed to be hyped for this if you know any of the source material? Initially, it sounded like, oh, we're going to get 8 hours worth of content. J.K. Rowling's going to be helping with it. Like, they're talking about authentic casting, and every week it's like they're breaking that down, and like those commitments and promises down more and more and more.
And it does maybe explain why we got a casting announce for Lucius. It does explain why we got a casting announce for Fudge. And look, there are some things that I would be okay with them adding when it comes to some of this shit. Like Fudge maybe being on the cover of a Daily Prophet, and you get to see Fudge, and like something's like happening, like Hagrid's reading the fucking thing during Harry's birthday when they're at the cottage on the ocean, and he starts talking about Fudge, and you see a picture of Fudge moving around. Okay, I'm cool with little things like that.
Right.
You start getting into shit like this, I don't like it. It needs to stay, for the most part, Harry's perspective. How many do you know how few fucking scenes there are that are not from Harry's direct perspective in this fucking book? Nothing.
Yeah.
Exception being first chapter, Goblet of Fire, and that's Harry having a vision. I don't really know how that vision's working. It actually doesn't really make any sense to me at all. How he's like seen it from Frank Bryce's perspective. I don't fucking get it. And it, like how he sees Voldemort. I don't know. Maybe
I don't know either.
Maybe Harry's viewing it from Nagini's perspective. Whatever. It's that, the Frank Bryce Voldemort Wormtail scene in the Riddle House. And then I believe the only other one that's not from Harry's perspective is going to be the Spinner's End chapter in Half-Blood Prince, where you get Bellatrix and Snape.
Yeah.
That's it.
Right. It's not some like large amount of content. It's not like it's half the fucking series here. We're talking about extremely few and far between, but now it sounds like they're going to go all out on, ooh, let's throw in a bunch of different perspectives. Because who the fuck asked for that? I guess the fanfickers. Besides those people, the people that are sitting online and creating, ooh, their NSFW fanfictions that nobody's asked to be appealed to. I guess maybe they're going to get what they want.
This is a good point. Vernon's point of view in the first chapter. That is correct. That is correct.
Yeah.
Other than that, can anyone think of anything else?
Right, but again, it's not like it's even 25%, or never mind when you get into 50 or 75%. Obviously not. We're not talking about a Song of Ice and Fire here.
Yeah. Fuck, man. I don't like it. I don't like it.
I don't either.
Something else that'll suck.
It could be so bad. I want it to, in theory, be good, but we know how that goes. Always expect the worst possible scenario.
Doom Guy says, Vera, my friend Ben saw you and said you're hot. Shout out to humiliating Ben. Ha ha ha.
Hi, Ben. Thanks for the dono.
Shout out Ben and Doom Guy. Sturgeon says, are they going to race swap Dobby? You know how funny it would be if they make all the house elves black? All the enslaved elves.
Whew.
Corvo the Crow. Dude, if they cast a black guy as Sirius, it'd be the most hilarious unintentional racism ever. This is Sirius Black and his brother, regular black. Jeremy Gay. Look,
So many funny jokes.
it is perfectly within the realm of possibility that they cast Sirius as black. Not just because his last name is Black, but because it would be able to negate the racism shit between him and Snape.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see.
Set this thing in fucking Africa at this point. Anti-Zero Space for Hogwarts is on stolen land. Would you ever be interested in a Founders story?
In what? A video game, movie, TV show, book?
TV show, book?
Because I think it would. I think it would be very different. Book, yes. Like a TV show or movie, I don't think so. Maybe a game, perhaps, but yeah.
I think it would be, like, just being real, I think that it would be, if done properly.
Well, right. That's the big problem.
It would be like a 3 or 4 season television show showing the Founders getting to know each other, their lives before Hogwarts, the creation of Hogwarts, like things going well for a little bit, and then the split between like Slytherin and Gryffindor. And I actually think it could be really good. But
yeah,
it could be really good if it's done well.
Yeah, if.
Just like a lot of things.
Yeah.
Star Wars could be really good if it was done well.
Yeah.
But not likely to happen. You know what people used to like? Overwatch, Vera.
That's true.
People used to really like Overwatch. And Overwatch 2 didn't exactly light the world on fire. They've been trying to like rebrand a little bit and stuff like this. Apparently, they can't even keep their voice actors quiet. They can't even keep their voice actors to keep the noise down. It's always got to be fucking something. You should stop hiring activists, really.
They've got a voice and they're definitely going to fucking use it.
This is a hill worth dying on. Overwatch actor isn't happy about Onrun's redesign either. People feel understandably let down. And this is the character, a new character that was added to Overwatch fairly recently. And hey, pretty attractive character. Pretty good looking character. Uses some fire shit and stuff like that. She's got a couple different outfits that look really good. Okay. But apparently the actor is very upset about how this character looks. To the point where this person with red contacts and colored hair, and by the way, I'm pretty sure they've got a gay thing in their bio, whatever. Fariha? I don't know if I'm saying that right. This is the voice actor who decided they really needed to speak out about how the character is really bad for modern beauty standards because they're not fat enough or something. I don't fucking know. This is you sent me this, Vera. You really cared about this Overwatch story.
I did. So basically, just the quick context is this new character that this individual is voicing. There was previously like concept arts and rough sketches, and the character looked more, as they're calling it, ethnic, and this character was more diverse. And now the media, the access media, is complaining about the babyification of characters in Overwatch, where they say all of the females are the same body type, all of the females are just like, oh my gosh, it's terrible, guys, normal looking women. And so now, because the more insane side of the Overwatch fandom is bitching and moaning and complaining they want this character changed, this voice actress has now come out and said, oh, suddenly I stand with the fans. Even though I got fucking paid to voice this character and I could have turned it down at any point, now they're saying, well, this is actually a very big problem.
Hi friends, I'm Fariha and I voice Anran in Overwatch. 大家朋友们好，我是 Fariha， 我是安然的英语配音演员。I'm gonna be so honest.
Is that Japanese?
I think so.
I'm not super up to date on all
actually,
my.
it might be Korean.
Korean.
I don't know.
She looks like she's half Asian or something, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Honest. I'm nervous about this video because
oh, it's Chinese. Okay, it's Mandarin.
Not address the elephant in the room, but I didn't want to step on the devs' toes or speak on their behalf because
I think that this is so fucking funny that this person starts with, "Oh, I don't want to step on the devs' toes, and I don't want to like fight back against this design, but then I'm going to sit here in a 4-minute long video and do exactly that and bitch and moan and groan and complain."
Yeah, and you got somebody with fucking red contacts in and shit like this. It's like, how can anyone take this seriously? It is just appealing to this like weirdo fringe base, the weirdo fringe base that Overwatch pandered to, right?
Yeah.
The weirdo fringe base that they pandered to and changed characters and put gay shit in it. They did all this stuff to pander these people, and it hasn't worked out very well for them over the past couple of years, right? And now you have a voice actor who can't shut the fuck up and is, while trying to say, I respect the devs, actually throwing them under the bus.
Yep.
Trying to honor the community and everyone's criticisms because I agree, and also give grace to the developers because they're always trying their best in the situation they're in, right? So I wanted to make sure that was there before I celebrated anything myself. So here goes. I got to mourn Anran between the design I had hoped for her and the design we ended up with. Because I think in her comic and the cinematic element.
So this is a character that was introduced in a cinematic like trailer reveal.
Yes.
That is a different style than the actual Overwatch. The animation's a slightly different style than the actual fucking Overwatch game. People were upset because the character, when revealed in the Overwatch game style, they felt like it didn't completely and totally look like the character that was revealed in the cinematic.
Yes.
Which a lot of the characters look slightly different because the style is different, but whatever.
There was a precedent set by it. There was a unspoken promise that said, we're going to challenge the beauty standards plaguing and ransacking media these days, right? The Ozempic chic, the contour your nose, you have no nose, the tiniest nose.
I love how there was an unspoken promise. So no one ever actually made this promise to you.
Right.
That they were going to make this character a
I just
freakazoid.
expected something because I was hired. Okay, that doesn't mean that the developers owe you anything at that fucking point just because you're a voice actress.
And I think because of that precedence, people feel understandably let down. Overwatch is a trailblazer at challenging that, right? Of trying to break those molds, of trying to explore the bounds of what it means to be good, what it looks like to be heroic. And I think the result we got says something else. It says something that leaves a bad taste in our mouths. It's not the bold, optimistic swing that we know Overwatch to make. And it's a look that isn't congruent with her personality, right? She looks like the younger sibling. She looks more docile somehow as the fire hero. She looks more docile than the most docile peacekeeping support in the game. And
this is so hilarious to me because, of course, for years now, we've seen the access media, we've seen actors, we've seen some specific gamers say, we need to like subvert expectations. We need to change the way characters look, even though if you go back 20 years, right, video game characters were fucking attractive and that wasn't a problem. It's only when these like activist losers made their way into our sphere that character designs were suddenly labeled, sexist, misogynist, all of this absolute BS. But you have this person sitting here and completely missing the point. Okay, the reason why Activision Blizzard is going back to what made Overwatch really like big in the first place was sex appeal because number one, I don't know if you remember this, but when Overwatch initially released, Tracer had a pose that was deemed so inappropriate because it highlighted her ass that they removed it from the game. Yeah. So really, going in the direction of beautiful and appealing characters again is what Overwatch initially was fucking about. But you have this person sitting here and suddenly saying this isn't okay. But they're only doing it in response to Marvel Rivals because Marvel Rivals is making billions of dollars. They've got this steep competition now, and those characters look good. Sexy sells, and that shouldn't be shamed. People shouldn't be shamed for wanting to see either hunky, masculine, attractive men or very sexy, feminine women. People want to look at other beautiful people. It's not that hard to fucking understand. They're sitting here claiming, oh, the hypersexualization of all these characters. People bought more games or bought specific games because the designs of characters, the look of characters. And if you compare the Concords and the Suicide Squads and the Reluteds and the High Guards compared to, I don't know, the fucking Tomb Raiders and the Stellar Blades, clearly there's a type of design that sells better than the other.
Yeah, and I think there's this belief that if you put a bunch of like not as attractive people in games and that's all you have, that suddenly people will start to find those characters more attractive. They want to change beauty standards. Like that's the entire fucking goal. It's not how it's going to work.
Oh yeah, absolutely
right?
not.
It doesn't matter if you put some fat bitch in Horizon, whatever the next game is.
They believed after a decade people would definitely be indoctrinated more. They believed that this ideology would be so widespread and rampant that people would just be happy and willing to consume this content. And they thought by now people would actually like this content and be used to this content, but they didn't expect so much pushback.
Yeah.
Seeing everyone's redesigns and quietly bookmarking them. But I wanted you to hear that this concern is important. This is a hill worth dying on. It's worth speaking on, because I believe that the more we speak up about the things that truly matter to us, the more we'll see ourselves reflected in the world around us, the more we'll see our values in the world around us, right? And I want you to know that I shared all of this with the dev team. Not only that, I was encouraged to be as open and honest as possible, to not hold anything back. And it's my hope that this isn't for naught, right? That they see it, they hear it from you all too. And while it's it's not my position to decide what can be done and what gets done about this, I will keep championing for the version of her that we all wished for, right? And I want you to do the same with boldness, with kindness, and with hopium.
People like her, such narcissists, it drives me insane. These people need to see themselves in every fucking character, or else they want to show up with pitchforks and cancel developers. Like, you just got paid to voice this character, which, first of all, millions and millions of people would jump at the opportunity for. But then you have the gall to start off your video with saying, I'm not trying to throw the devs off the fucking boat. But you are.
Now you're trying to rile up thousands. You're trying to rile up thousands of degenerate fucking weirdos into hammering the fucking devs until they relent. And guess what? Because of how Overwatch is, because of how they are, her job is protected. They can't fire her. If they fired her over this, there would be a fucking shitstorm from the audience that they themselves have cultivated.
Yeah, and I sent you another image in the private chat as well, but she straight up admitted that she wants to push an agenda. Like, she's 100% willing to do that, which is fucking wild. And you'd think that these voice actors would, I don't know, actually like stop pushing politics when it's clearly not profitable and nobody respects you for doing that.
Yeah, help us push the agenda. I shall.
So cringe. This entire person is just cringe as hell. But also, they did voice acting on Apex Legends, which is another game that, you know, promotes the LGBTQ plus agenda very frequently.
And to put this entire controversy into perspective, you might think that the redesigns people are proposing, it must be like radically different or some shit, right?
Right.
This is the redesign.
This is the tiny little redesign that they are demanding, that they are saying would change the fucking game for them.
This is what all of this is about. This is what it looks like right now. Yeah. This is what they want. Eyebrows a little different, eyes a little bit more narrowed, and cheeks a little bit more slender, I suppose. And I don't even know why they're talking about like Ozempic chic. There's nothing that looks Ozempic chic about the original character.
Right, like, she doesn't have like a massively different body type in the edited version either. She's got a little bit more muscle, and I guess her shoulders are like a tiny bit wider, but that's not, you know, drastic or like insanely different. Like, you're really sitting here and bitching about this. This is what you are saying is going to change your mind on this fucking company? Seriously?
Like, it is so small, and that's what they're freaking out about.
I think ultimately that she just wants a character to look like her because, again, she's a narcissist, and she just wants to see herself in this character. Now she's furious that she didn't get, like, herself put into this game. And so she's trying to rile up her fan base and her audience to go, ooh, Blizzard's bad. We need to do something about this. I bet 2 people on social media agreed with her take, and now this clip is getting a bit of attention. More people are talking about it. So ultimately, like, they think that this is like gonna work, but do we really think that they're gonna change this character? No, Blizzard doesn't give a fuck. Why would Blizzard care?
If they have a voice actor who's telling their people to keep hammering, who knows? Blizzard might cave.
I guess true. Yeah. If enough like other like content creators, YouTubers that are on their side end up promoting this a lot, then perhaps they would slightly tweak her. But I don't see at this point in time this one video being enough pushback for them to say, oh my gosh, we need to delay this character, we need to redesign them, we need to make this voice actor feel differently. I mean, the video has 2.9 million views on X right now, but that's not a lot in terms of a Blizzard. But Blizzard's in such a shit position right now with how much goodwill they've lost with their customers. Maybe they'll just be like, you know what, we're just going to roll out this change.
It's so stupid. But this is the audience you've cultivated.
Yeah.
This is the audience you wanted.
It. Like, it goes back 10 years to when the game came out and you censored a pose and you removed the pose because these people complained. What do you expect? These people will always find a reason to attack you and to cancel you. And sure, I'm not the biggest fan of Blizzard. Blizzard's a shit company. They don't care about their customers 100%. But damn, did they get the audience they asked for?
And we want to talk about like not sexualizing characters. You know who sexualizes Overwatch characters more than anyone else?
The people that are complaining.
The weird degenerate Overwatch freaks. I cannot tell you because I was looking for some pictures to like
Whew.
comparisons, looking for the edits. You can't go three tweets down without seeing some Overwatch porn that these people are creating. Right? It is.
Well, I'm pretty sure for like years and years, like Overwatch was the #1 like video game pornography like category, and like I'm pretty sure it's like Final Fantasy as well. But yeah, I mean Overwatch, because there's so many different characters, it makes sense why it would be, especially where I mean initially the game did have quite a lot of sex appeal. But they're just trying to compete with Marvel rivals now, who very clearly is willing to put cake on every character and make every woman look feminine, every man to look masculine. And now, where Blizzard's going through such financial troubles, they're like, well, it's time to maybe get this show on the road. You know, Microsoft's losing a lot of money right now. They want to change public perception a little bit. Ooh, guys, they're dropping the 2 from Overwatch 2, and now it's just going to go back to Overwatch. Like, oh, okay, man.
Especially because Overwatch 2 was such a big failure.
Yes, it was. Because they didn't do anything. They added like 2 maps, like a new character or new hero, and like that was it at release. Like you really thought that was going to work out. You promised for years and years that you were going to have this big story mode, and then every promise ended up getting thrown away.
Vic Chavez for 2. Wait, don't shoot. That man isn't black. DB Super. Dragon Ball Super? I haven't watched a single episode of Dragon Ball in my life.
One day you need to watch at least one.
We'll see. Anti-Zero Space for 5. These activists need to grab a half gallon of whiskey and enjoy their life. I would love a half gallon of whiskey right now. NTR Uncle for 2. She has mortgage eyes. One fixed, one variable. She got red contacts in. It looked like a demon.
Yeah.
K. Melee Games K with 5 gifted memberships. Thank you very much, Kay. That's awesome. I appreciate it. She must have tuned in and really loved the Overwatch segment.
Absolutely.
It must have been
It's a great conversation. Listening to retards bitch and moan and groan and complain about how, the as they call them, the gooner fans aren't going to be able to jerk off to a virtual version of my face on this character. I must demand they change this character now, because it's the only fucking attention that she's ever got for looks in her entire life.
I can't stand the way she speaks.
Yeah.
The way she enunciates.
Well, I think it's because she's half white, half Chinese.
It could be, but I can't stand it.
But it also seems very like copying anime to me. It seems very like characterized.
I can't stand it when people talk like this. Fuck you. Spence, Lord Cyclonus is a rerard.
Transformers?
Thanks. John Ease, it's also tiresome. Shut up, you crimson crone.
Me? It's a good nickname.
The other girl had red hair and a shaved head, so maybe.
That is true. Might be.
And looked more crimson than I would describe your hair as.
Yeah, I guess so. It's a good nickname, though. I'm gonna steal that.
Justin Martins for 5. Shut up, silly woman.
Yeah, I just don't know why these voice actors think that this is gonna turn out well for them. It never fucking does.
I don't.
They all want their opinion to be heard. They all want the attention. Hey, she's getting it, I guess.
I don't think anything bad is going to happen to her.
No,
because of how protected these people are.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And they can't fire her. People are going to keep hiring her because she's gay. Like all that shit. They just
won't ever bring her back. Like they just won't ever like continue the character's story or have them record any more voice lines. Like it's just that simple.
NTR Uncle for $5 over on Streamlabs. Some Arab with a pubic hair beard and shitty BMW nearly crashed into me because I was following traffic laws. Got angry about it and followed me for a mile while swerving between lanes. Fuck my life. Really makes me want to join ICE to get rid of these people. Man, some Arab, huh?
Yeah.
Sounds like it could have been an explosive situation. You're lucky. You're lucky, NTR uncle. I don't know if Arabs are the best drivers. I'm not sure. I don't have too much experience knowing whether Arabs are good drivers or not. I think Indians are very bad drivers from what I'm aware of.
Yeah.
You know. Jesus, speaking of Overwatch, they're apparently crossing over with Fortnite, which you remember early Fortnite days they were competing. Oh, how Overwatch has fallen.
Yeah. I mean, again, like I didn't play Overwatch a lot. I definitely played it for a little bit of time. It was fun, but with how much they've fumbled Overwatch over the years, it makes me never want to go back.
Tommy Campari for 5. I jerked off so much to Overwatch porn. I feel like I should have more of a say in the characters design and the voice actors, to be honest.
Probably.
At least Tommy's honest about his degeneracy gooning.
Yeah, well, that's also a big reason why the video game journos love to attack Overwatch, because it got so big so quickly, and then you have these people who, yeah, they're like these fan fiction, like sex shippers that will write these articles and create this like fan art. I don't even want to know what the numbers are now that there's AI around, because years ago it was just like people creating these like CGI videos, and like every year the journos, who by the way, the journos that will complain about panty shots in fucking video games will be like, these are the most
Bangable
searched
men.
up. Yeah, these are the most bangable characters, the most searched up pornography terms. And it's always the Overwatch characters. But I bet it's like the number of these character videos have quadrupled over the past just year.
Luckily says for that last comment, fuck you, Nazi. Who are you talking to, Luckily? Because I criticized Indian drivers?
We'll criticize everybody.
Are you fucking Indian?
Maybe.
Are you?
Do not
Are you? I
redeem!
can smell you from here. Luckily, is that what's going on?
Struck a nerve.
Is that what's going on? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe he's not even talking to me. I'm not sure. Maybe he's talking to somebody in the chat.
Argue with someone in chat, and then you just have to bring it up. And now he's like, "What the fuck, man?"
I was talking about the comment you read. Bitch, motherfucker, don't yell at me, bitch.
I don't even know what comment it was, but yeah.
Comment I read. The only ones were super chats, right?
Yeah.
Are you calling Tommy a Nazi for coming to Overwatch?
Yeah, Tommy, what the fuck,
I mean,
man?
I think that's strange. I don't think it makes you a Nazi. Was it the Arab guy? The Arab driver? The ice thing? Is that what you're upset about?
I think so.
He almost died because of some fucking immigrant. That's how you create resentment. Luckily, if you want to represent the Indians well, you have to fucking behave, okay? You can't smell like curry all the fucking time. You can't shit in the streets. You got to drive properly. No one's got any problems with you then. You know? No one's gonna have any problems, luckily.
The chat saying deport, luckily.
Fucking deported. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what the hell a Nazi is anymore. I used to think I had an idea. But
yeah.
John Getz for $5 on Rumble. Skinwalker Luke pulls his hood down. I was told there was some cheese space pizza here. And it only got worse in Boba Fett as they can't write Jedi lessons beyond just quoting the OT. John Getz for another 5. Put a clause in any new voice actor contract. If you say anything in public that could be deemed as detrimental to the sales of our product, you'll be replaced with AI or another actor if or when possible. I mean, that seems so normal, you know?
Yeah, it does.
If you come out and you
the
say
problem is
something,
these companies believe in what these actors are saying, and the teams are filled with activists who also agree. So of course they're not going to fire somebody like that, because then you'd probably cause 90% of your employees to be pissed at you.
Yeah. Just shut down your companies. Maybe do that. Just call it quits.
Yeah.
John Getz for another $5. They need One Piece's Oda in there. He told a fan to ignore women who have problems with how he draws women, puts in a bunch of fan service damsels pervy jokes, and it's the best-selling manga ever. Never read it, but maybe.
Maybe. What does that mean?
I'm saying maybe you're right. I've never read it.
Oh.
Like, I don't fucking
You
know.
meant like maybe I've read it. I'm like, how the fuck do you not know if you have or have not?
I know I haven't. I know I haven't. But luckily, he's very mad. He's basically saying I was a loser in high school. Hey, I was never invited to the cool side of the high school table, so I don't give a fuck. Makes sense. You probably smelled. I don't know what to tell you. People are like, hey,
I mean,
this kid who shits
on,
in the
man.
fucking hallways.
This guy likes to be humiliated, I think.
That's a lot of the haters here. Just being honest with you. Just being honest. Doom guy. Men like big boobs and butts. Women like big D and muscles. It's weird how people buy what they want.
Yeah. I mean, I say it all the time. I want good-looking men and good-looking women in my entertainment, and that's what most people want.
That is it's not even just like an entertainment. It is a subliminal subconscious thing that operates within every aspect of the world.
Absolutely.
Like when people are hiring other people, whether it's a male boss or a female boss, both at least there are some women that maybe operate on different standards because of competition and shit like that, but men are more likely to hire an attractive man for a job because they look better, they present better, you want this person working for you, all of these different things. Like that, it's just, it applies throughout all aspects of life that attractive people have it a little bit easier. And that's just the way the world is. It's just part of it because people don't want to look at some ugly sack of shit.
Nope.
Tommy, if jerking off
Oh god.
if jerking off to Overwatch porn makes me a Nazi, then call me Hitler.
That's going to get you the gamer.
You can call me. I congratulate you. Yeah.
The gamer's going to be writing a hit piece momentarily on this shit.
Tommy Campari declares himself to be Hitler as he is gooned 2,000 times to Mercy in Overwatch. Maybe it's not even Mercy. Maybe it's a male character. We didn't even ask Tommy. Like,
maybe.
Yeah. Who's that like big hog looking one?
What's his name? Like Roadster, Roadkill. Could be Winston the big gorilla.
Winston, he's jerking off to Winston.
Here we go. We cracked the code.
Or maybe like the robot or something.
Could be.
Could be anybody. Roadhog. That's right. Roadhog.
That's what it is.
Roadhog. Ryan, how many people have you hired? That's just an ignorant statement. That shows your age. No, there are studies that have been done on this over time. Like you're just a dumb fucking boomer. Oh, you're showing your age. Yeah, I'm like 37 years old. How many people have I hired in terms of, hey, you're going to work for me? Only a handful. How many people have I had input or placed in different positions, like throughout my time in the military and stuff like that? A fucking lot. Shows your age. You fucking dumb old bitch. You just want to deny what reality is. There is a thing, pretty and handsome privilege, that fucking exists in all aspects of life.
It does.
If somebody walks up to you in a fucking parking lot and says, "Oh shit, my car battery just died. Can you give me a jump?" If some sloppy, fucking ugly looking motherfucker comes up and asks you, compared to some well put together, like clean cut, whatever you want to call it, these are ways that we perceive attractiveness, and it makes you think about everything. It makes you think about someone's cleanliness. It makes you think about their fucking attitude and everything. You are more likely to help the more attractive person than you are the ugly son of a bitch. You might not think that affects you, but subconsciously it fucking does. Speaking in generalities about the population. Fucking boomer. John Getz for 5. Wait, so does jerking off to Tifa in One Piece women porn make you a Japanese imperialist then? Asking for a friend.
Yes.
It might. It might. But I got to talk about one more thing, one more video game thing. We've been going long. We're 2 hours already, Vera.
Wow.
Going overboard.
That's terrible. How could this happen?
It's disgusting.
Terrible.
I just got to find.
You can't even fucking find the time. He's like, wait. Can't end the stream yet. It's going to take 5 minutes to find this shit.
I have a lot of tabs, bro. You got to calm down. I got a lot of different windows open. You can see me like freaking searching through all this shit.
Luckily in the chat says Mr. Forehead with his mic and his neon lights in the background with a bunch of laughing emojis.
Who said that?
How does that make you feel? You looking like Baby Yoda over there with the green screen.
Yeah, I do. It's not. So when because the background, I don't have an actual background. I just have the standard Windows thing that changes nature things.
I don't know. Why don't you put just a normal black background?
I don't know. So normally when I have my tabs up, it looks like somewhat normal. When I pull them off like I just did, right now it's some fucking peacocks and some grass or some shit. And it just blasts me with green and it looks fucking ridiculous. It really does. And I lost all my fucking tabs because I did that.
If I knew which topic you were going to bring it up, I could help find the link.
I got it.
But okay.
I got it. Okay. I want to talk about no more green. Look at that. We're back to fucking normal. I want to talk about Horizon Hunters Gathering.
Whew.
Vera, what is this? Is this like Concord 4.0 at this point?
I mean, basically. So I initially thought that this was like some low budget, very quickly churned out Night Rain clone, Elden Ring Night Rain, because it's 3-player co-op. Like, clearly it's existing in this series. Apparently, these motherfuckers, again, it's a Sony game. They've been working on this game for 8 years now. 8 years, and we get the fucking meteor hurtling towards Earth with a peg leg as one of the characters. This is terrible.
Bro, look at this fat piece of shit. At least this one looks really relatively cute and bubbly, regardless of the weird colored hair. Look at this monster. Who would I be more likely to hire? This person or this person? I don't know. I guess we'll ask the boomers in the chat. They'll say, it wouldn't make any difference, Ryan. You're showing your age. This got fucking destroyed. Horizon Hunters Gathering trailer sparks backlash, Concord vibes, forced characters, and live service fatigue hit Sony's new co-op game.
Sony keeps greenlighting the worst titles possible. And part of this does go back to Herman Hulst, who most infamously went out of his way to purchase Firewalk Studios so they would get Concord, because he genuinely believed that that was going to be the next Overwatch, the next major game. He thought it was going to be insane. And so all of these games were greenlit by him many years ago. Now, we don't know if this had evolved over the years, because 8 years worth of development time, yeah, sure, things change. You change engines, things are reimagined, you alter based on the market conditions. Like 8 years ago, live service wasn't, seen as popular. It really still isn't seen as popular. But the fact that they thought now would be the correct time to unveil this, as you have games like Concord flopping, High Guard failing, you think this is what people want to see right now? You are out of your mind, and it just goes to show how little they are paying attention, or they're paying attention and they just don't care.
Yeah, and here is the trailer. As of right now, it's got 20,000 likes, 90,000 dislikes.
Yeah.
Horizon Hunters Gathering, and they did a 10-minute thing, but we're just going to play the cinematic trailer for right now.
Of the old world came machines. For ages, they were the guardians of the net.
And obviously, look, I actually really, really liked Horizon Zero Dawn. When the first one that came out, and I thought the story was fine. I mostly love the gameplay and the world and the idea of these robots and the combat mechanics and shit like that. I really did enjoy it.
Right.
This-
I enjoyed
yeah.
the first game as well. I think that it was fun. I was not the biggest fan of Horizon Forbidden West, which was the sequel, but this is not what fans asked for.
Natural world. And they turned against us. Now, they're getting deadlier. By the day. All across the land, people are dying. That's why our leader gave me this command.
Aloy. Aloy makes an appearance. The leader gave a command.
I mean, I'm shocked they didn't race swap the ginger. I'm surprised Aloy isn't fat and black anymore.
We have to fight back. And to do that, we need a team.
These are not the designs people want in games. And I think it's also very... What's most funny about this is that they unveiled this now when, again, Concords are coming out, High Guards are coming out, all these are failing. It's been in development for 8 years. It doesn't have a fucking release date. So, like, who knows when or even if this will come out? Because we know that these companies, they love to announce things and then quietly cancel them, or they keep delaying and delaying, hoping that people are going to forget. And it doesn't have a release date, so who knows what's going to happen with this? They'd probably be better off canceling it. But this is what they've been working on for years.
They should have ate all the money and saved the embarrassment.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Soldiers who always hold the line.
God, she takes up the entire screen.
This disgusting behemoth beast.
Who asked for this?
Who wants to play as a female that looks like this?
Your hitbox is going to be massive.
Like, what the fuck?
And mercenaries.
The hair has to be weird and shit too. Like,
it's so strange. Like, what is this design? I don't
look at the
understand
hands.
it.
Look
I don't
at those
get
sausage
it.
fingers.
Like, holy shit.
Who may have crossed it now and then.
The peg leg saved her.
Who hide in the dark.
Does every character fucking smirk in this game?
Yeah, it's quirky and funny, and they're all sassy.
And champions who shine in the light. Upstarts whose stories are just beginning. And legends looking for one last shot.
I guess Aaron looks decent, I suppose. It's pretty bad when that's the best thing I could say.
The smirks, man.
Every single character here smirks.
Made up of the greatest hunters in the land. This.
God. Why would you ever design a character that you're supposed to play as to look like this?
Probably because the developer who came up with this design looks like that, and so they wanted to see themselves in the game. I think it's so fucking hilarious when we see character designs like this, because exact same people will bitch and moan about a character like Lara Croft, and they'll say she's unrealistic. Oh my god, unrealistic body proportions. Where are her organs? But then they'll say, oh, she can't really be a good Tomb Raider because her chest is too big and she can't squeeze through these rock crevices. But then you have a fucking 800-pound boulder going across the screen, and that's not a problem. Like, oh, suddenly we don't give a fuck about realism. Jesus. It's terrible.
And I don't like the art style necessarily for this in general, especially like I get it. It's not a Horizon Zero Dawn, Horizon for I get it. It's supposed to be basically Monster Hunters, right? But this is not going over very well. You can see people are tired of fucking live service ripoff games that feel exactly like other things you can play. People are tired of seeing these strange designs for fucking characters that clearly no one would ever want to play as. And this is a very poorly timed announcement. Also, Jeff Keighley promoted it. So
every time, if I ever make a game, I'm going to specifically ask Jeff Keighley to not cover my game, because every single time he does, these games are bad. But it makes sense because he is just ultimately promoting what he deems as the safest like game release, because he doesn't understand what it is gamers actually want.
rough.
It is
Rough. At least there's a couple like cute characters in that.
Yeah, there's two decent looking characters, but even they seem a little bit, I don't know what the right word is, quirky, maybe. So we'll see. If it ever comes out, I mean, 8 years worth of development time. They were probably hoping that live service would be in a more successful place now. People would have come to have liked it a little bit more. That clearly isn't the case, but obviously character designs are bad. Gameplay, the 2 seconds they show of it doesn't seem to be that special and just very poorly timed.
Narco for 5. Jerking off to Overwatch. Psh, I just had my wife cosplay as Mercy and jerk me off. Did we really need
okay,
this?
Elon Musk. You got Amber Heard in the Mercy cosplay.
But with as much as people put up with from her, shitting in a bed, cutting their finger off, I'm pretty sure Elon got hit in the face by her. You know, she's got to be crazy in the sack. Like, I mean, absolutely has to be a demon. But did you, I get having to maybe censor jerking, maybe, but why did we need a space in wife? Why did we need a space in cosplay? All the space in Mercy? What is going on with this? Taker for 5. Ryan, your Bears need to make the conference finals next year, so 2 USC quarterbacks can face off to see who the second USC quarterback will be to start a Super Bowl. I'm fine with that, Taker. I'm fine with that. Tommy for 2. In that case, I'm also Emperor Hirohito. Tommy jerking off to a lot of game porn, apparently. Doom Guy for 2. Made up of the gayest hunters in the land.
It is.
Apparently. 8 years. I'm no expert, but my sense is that a competent developer could have put this together in 3 months. I don't get it.
I don't know. That's what the reports say. The developers haven't said 8 years, but we know that Guerrilla was working on a big multiplayer game. And now this is getting its reveal trailer. And apparently they're only working on one game right now. So this seems to be it. Maybe they'll come out and clarify at a later date, though, but that's not good.
Maybe. Corvo the Crow. Game looks almost as gay as Jeremy. The key word there being almost. Almost as gay as Jeremy. Well, with that being said, Vera, I think we're all caught up. Let me refresh over here and make sure we're good. Let's see. Oh, we got another one. We got some clarification. Narco, YouTube wouldn't let me send a super, so I started leaving out letters and putting spaces. Mercy, it let me send. That's really weird.
Yeah, YouTube does not like certain phrases, so not shocking.
But Vera, that's it for us. Next week, we're over on Vera's channel, so highly recommend you subscribe to her. Her link is in the description. If this is people's first experience with you on a stream, Vera, what do you tell the people? Lord Magnus, stop fucking spamming that I'm hot. I'm gonna fucking time you out.
You can find me on YouTube and X, Veridark Dark Titan Media. Fuck My Life does rotate our channels, so next week will be on my channel. Week after we'll be back on Ryan's. I will be streaming Reloaded tomorrow night because fuck my life. So make sure to stop by for that, 7 p.m. Eastern. I stream video games Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, Sundays, 7 p.m. Varen Virtue Show Wednesday evenings at 9 p.m. And then, of course, Fuck My Life and 2 to 3 videos a day.
2 to 3 videos a day.
That's life.
Crushing it. Now
I'm gonna crush my head because I have to play Reloaded, so I may not be on next week's stream. It may be the end of Fuck My Life.
You think so?
Maybe over for me. I might lose my last brain cell.
Now, I think I know. I told somebody that I would, on Rumble, that I would raid Bane of the Shills. I think I've figured it out, but I don't know. Raid.
Doesn't sound very promising. You're like, I think?
I think. So we're going to try to do that on Rumble. Let's see if it works. Please review the details. Okay. We are going to raid them, which is great. So we're raiding over on Rumble. I don't know. We don't have, what the fuck is even going on YouTube? I don't even know. We're just going to end it on YouTube. But thank you guys for being here. Rumble, YouTube, wherever you're watching. We appreciate it. And we'll talk to you later. Bye, everybody.